All right, so before we click on anything here, I want to show you a simple model for understanding how Google Ads is structured. At the top, you have a campaign. Inside the campaign, you have ad groups, and each ad group is focused on one theme, like one service or one category. Then inside each ad group, you have two things, the keywords you want to show up for and the ads people actually see. So we're going to build this in that exact order. We'll do the campaign first, then the ad groups, then the keywords and ads. And as we go, I'll point out the best practices that actually matter so your campaign stays clean and you understand what's driving your results. Okay, now let's go ahead and create our first campaign. Right here, let's click on New Campaign. And we've seen this screen right here before. This is where you can enter your business name and your website. I'll go ahead and enter my information here again, and then my website as well. With that done, I'm going to go down and click on Next. The first thing you'll be asked for is your campaign objective. Here, I would recommend going with Create a Campaign Without Guidance. This will keep you in control of the setup so Google doesn't auto-pick a bunch of settings for you. So I'll click on Create a Campaign Without Guidance. And then you can choose your campaign type. In most cases, you're going to go with a search campaign. So I'll click on this here. And then here you'll have to select the results that you want to get from the campaign, whether that's website visits or phone calls. I'll go with website visits, but you'll want to choose the result that matches your goals the best. Okay, next we'll need to choose our goal. So if I scroll down here, you're going to see a few different example goals. You want to pick a goal here that matches what you want to get out of your campaign. So for example, if you want someone to purchase a product on your website, you'd go with purchase. If you want someone to sign up for like a newsletter, you could go for sign up. But in my case, for my website, I'm going to go with form submissions. So I'm going to click on this one here. Then I'm going to scroll down to the bottom here and give my campaign a name. I'll name this Example Tutorial Campaign. Here at the bottom, you'll also see an option for enhanced conversions. I'm just going to leave this turned on. With that done, let's go to the bottom right and click on Agree and Continue. Okay, and here we can get into our bidding settings. This is one of the most important parts of this entire setup because this is where you can accidentally overspend if you just accept whatever Google suggests. For a brand new campaign, I recommend starting with maximize clicks. By default, it's set to conversions, so I'm going to change this to clicks. This is one of the most simple campaign types that we can use, and it also helps us start getting traffic right away so we can use that data to improve our campaigns further. And then under this, let's set a maximum cost per click bid limit. So we'll tick this on here. For this setting, just enter the most you'd be comfortable paying for one click. I'm setting it to $10 for now, not because I expect to pay that much, but just to give Google a limit so it doesn't go too high when we're getting started. When you're new, you usually won't know exactly what a realistic cost per click looks like yet, so just pick a number you're comfortable with. If $10 feels too high, you can set it lower, and later on as you learn your niche and your keywords better, you can always adjust it. So now that we understand that and we've set everything up here, let's scroll down and we'll leave only bid for new customers turned off. So I'll go to the bottom right here and click on Next. Okay, now we're in our campaign settings. The first thing that I recommend you do is turn off the networks. Let's go ahead and deselect both of these. From my experience, leaving these turned on can end up skewing a lot of the data you get from your ads and it burns through a ton of money. So just leave both of these turned off for any campaign that you create. Next, let's scroll down to the location. You're most likely not wanting to serve your ad across the entire world or across the entirety of the US and Canada, or even the entire United States. Most likely you're going to want to enter another location. So let's click on this here. And then we can search for the location that we want to show our ad in. So I'll click on this here. And then I'm going to type in, for example, Austin, Texas. So I'll see Austin appear here. And I'm going to click on Include. And if you want to get super specific with where you're showing your ads, go down and click on Advanced Search. As you can see on the right-hand side, I have a map showing me where my ad is going to be served. And right now, Austin, Texas has a reach of 8.2 million people. And whenever I added in this location, it doesn't actually show just Austin. It's stretching all the way out here to the west, including Fredericksburg, Marble Falls, Mason, and another town called Harper. So I'm actually going to fix this here. I'm going to remove Austin, Texas, and I'm going to switch it from location to radius. And now let's say I only want to serve within 20 miles of Austin. So I'll type in Austin again, click on Include, and it's going to tighten up that search radius. And now let's say, for example, I want to exclude an area. Let's say I don't actually service in the Buddha area. What I'll do is go back over to location. Then I'm going to type in Buddha and click on exclude. And now it's going to exclude this area specifically, and people here will not be able to see my ads. For your business, just choose whatever is realistic. The main idea is don't add a bunch of random locations. You want to keep this tight and accurate so your budget goes towards the right people. So I'm going to click on save. Then let's scroll down and find the location options. By default, this may be set to presence or interest. You'll want to make sure it's set to presence. This will make it to where your ad is shown to people who actually live in the areas that you service. Now let's scroll down to languages. Automatically, it's going to select your default language, which for me is English. If you want to add in more languages, you can do so here. Next, choose if this is an EU political ad. For me, it is not, so I'm going to click on no. Then I'll go down to the bottom right and click on next. And on this screen here, you may see an option to turn on AI Max. I would highly recommend to turn this off. If it's turned on for you, go ahead and click on it. Then click on turn off. Now let's scroll to the bottom here and click on next. And after that, you'll be brought into the keyword and asset generation screen. Google will offer to generate keywords and ad copy if you paste in your URL here and then describe your products or services. This could be helpful as a starting point, but I don't recommend relying on it because it's not real keyword research and it doesn't teach you why you're targeting what you're targeting. So I'm going to scroll down and click on skip. All right, so now you're going to be on the ad group screen. This is where you would normally create your first ad group and start adding in your keywords. Let's start by giving it a name here at the top. I'll name this one house cleaning. Again, here you can get your keyword suggestions if you want to, but we just did keyword research, so we're going to skip that. Now here's where we enter in our keywords. All right, so there are 3 different types of keywords that you need to know about. You have broad, phrase, and exact. Broad match is the loosest option. It can show your ad for searches that are related to the meaning of your keyword, even if the person doesn't type the exact words that you chose. Broad match can work a little bit later on once you have more data and tighter controls, but for most beginners, it expands way too quickly and it will pull in a lot of low quality traffic. So I don't recommend using broad match. Phrase match is usually the best place to start for beginners. It gives you way more control than broad keywords, but it's not so strict that you barely get any traffic. You'll still reach people searching for what you offer, but you'll cut out a lot of the random, unrelated searches that broad match can pull in. Exact match is the most controlled option, but here's the key thing to understand with this. Exact doesn't mean word for word identical. Google will still look at intent, so it may show your ad for close variations that mean the same thing. So it is controlled, but it's not perfect. In this tutorial for my keywords, I'm just going to use phrase match. That's going to give us plenty of control, and it's going to keep the campaign clean, and it still lets us collect enough data to make smart improvements later on. So I'm going to go back over to my spreadsheet, and I'm going to copy all of the keywords that I want to use. Then I'll go back to my ad group, and I'm going to paste them in here. And then at the bottom here, you're going to see how you select what kind of match you want for each keyword. So in order to make a keyword phrase match, you have to put it in quotes. And if you want an exact match, you'll have to put your keyword in brackets. And if you want a broad match, you just type in the keyword with nothing added. So I'm going to go to each of my keywords here and put them in quotes. Just like this. Okay, so I've gone ahead and added all of my keywords and put them in quotes here. And if you're wondering how many keywords you should put in for your ad group, there's no need to go absolutely crazy and add in thousands of different keywords. I would recommend at first keeping this list small and experimenting and changing them out to see which ones actually work best for your business. So I'm happy with this here, so I'm going to continue to scroll down the page. Starting at the top, we have your final URL. This is simply the page someone lands on after they click on your ad. You want this to be as relevant as possible to what you're advertising. So if your goal is to get someone to book an appointment, you want to send them to your booking page. If you're promoting a specific service, send them to that exact service page. And if you're selling a product, send them directly to the product page. The more the page matches what they searched, the better your results are going to be. Next is the display path. This doesn't change where people go, it just changes the URL text here within the ad. You can customize this to make the ad look a little bit cleaner, but I think for my specific ad, I like how it's just my domain name here. Next, I'm going to scroll down to headlines. This is where your earlier research comes in. You can think of headlines as short, high-impact phrases that match what someone is searching for and gives them a reason to click. So I'm going to add mine in here for a cleaning company. I'll start with house cleaning, maid cleaning, house cleaning services, and then I'll add in some extra ones here, like free estimate, serving Austin. Then I'll do book online. And then if I scroll up to the top here on the right-hand side, you'll see here that Google is going to rotate and mix different headlines that you create to find combinations that perform the best. After that, we're going to add in our descriptions. These are just slightly longer sentences that explain what you do and what someone should do next. If you need help coming up with this, again, just go ahead and open up a new tab. Let's type in house cleaning services, Austin, Texas. And I can see the descriptions that other companies have created for their ads here. This one says affordable, top-rated maid services available 7 days a week and next day appointments. This one says message deep cleaning experts and get fast, affordable estimates. So depending on your business, just do some more research. You can add these descriptions into your spreadsheet if you want to, but I'm going to go ahead and create mine here. So I'll paste in my first description here, and then I'll paste in another description right here. You can add up to 4 descriptions, so if you want more, go ahead and add them here. And then after you add these in, you can scroll back up and see how they look with your ad here at the top. I think I'm happy with my headlines and my descriptions that I've added. So I'm going to scroll to the bottom here. And if you want to, you can start adding in site links as well. So I'll edit out this one here. And I'm going to change the text from shop products to book your appointment. And I can change the URL from shop to booking. Then click on create. It looks like I have 2 contact us pages, so I'm going to delete this. And then you should see that site link appear within your ad right here. And the first one is book your appointment, which is good. All right, now with all that done, I think we're ready to move on to the next step. So scroll to the bottom and click on save. And then here you'll get a preview of everything you filled out for this ad group. Once you're happy with it, let's go down and click on next. And here you need to set your daily budget. Google is automatically going to recommend you an average daily budget. You can go with this if you want to. It's going to break down what you can expect here. It says 276 weekly clicks, an average cost per click of $1.55, and a weekly cost of $426. For me, I'm going to go down and click on Set Custom Budget. And for my cleaning services, I think I'm okay with spending $100 a day for my budget. The key for this is that your budget just has to make sense for your business and your numbers. If you set this too low, you may barely get any traffic, which means you won't collect enough data to learn what's working. But you also don't want to spend blindly. A simple way to think about it is this. If one booked cleaning job for me is worth around $200, then spending less than that to get a lead or booking is what I'm aiming to do. You're not going to get this perfect on day one, but you need enough budget to actually test things. And here, once again, you're going to see your weekly clicks, your average cost per click, and your weekly cost. It's totally fine to start at less than $100 per day. Just make sure it makes sense for your business and your keywords. With that done, let's go down and click on next. All right, so now our campaign is created, but the ad is still being reviewed, so it's not going to run immediately. So now the next thing we're going to do is set up conversion tracking. That way Google can actually measure leads properly. So if I scroll down here, you're going to see the option to install a Google tag either with WordPress or manually. We're going to click on Install Manually. And then you're going to find your Google tag here. What we need to do is click on the copy button here, and we need to paste it into the head section of our website. So that way it's able to load site-wide. So with this copied, I'm going to go to my WordPress dashboard. Now, if you built your website with something other than WordPress, this process is going to be slightly different. But if you are using WordPress, this is how I'd recommend that you do it. Look for a plugin called WP Code. It's going to look like this right here. And then install and activate this. After you do that, you're going to see code snippets here on the left-hand side. Highlight over this and click into header and footer. Go ahead and find the head section here. and then just paste in that tag. Once you do that, go to the top right, click on Save Changes. And now the Google tag is installed site-wide. Now I'm going to go back over to Google Ads. Then I'm going to scroll down and click on Test Installation. So in my case, since I'm using a test domain and a test website, this isn't actually going to connect properly to my website. But in your case, this should be successful. If you are running into issues with your Google tag installation, first, make sure that your domain is configured properly. And second, make sure you clear the cache after making changes to the head section of your website. And also, it may just take a few minutes for everything to sync up properly. So for me, I'm going to click on Email Instructions. So I'll be able to come back to this a little bit later on. From here, I'll click on I'll do this later. And I'll click on it again here. All right, so after that, you're going to be brought to the campaign overview screen. And right here, you'll see your campaign is currently set to enabled.